Hello guys and welcome to Black Desert Online. Today begins day one of our journey with our Omega Reigns family. So if you guys have been watching some of my character creation videos, you know I basically created characters to mimic, I guess, the new gods from DC52 and Darkseid's family. I created my main character, Darkseid, as a I guess you can look at him and say that he's pretty much the he is Darkseid, but obviously I'm not going to be able to create a rock-like fucking creature inside the game in order to do that, unless they come out with special skins and stuff like that later. So I created Darkseid. We've created Big Barda as a Valkyrie. We created Desaad as a wizard, and we've created Grail. I like her the most out of all of the characters. I think she came out the best. We created Grail, his daughter. So we're gonna log in and begin our play though with Darkseid. Basically we get the default settings for the games, and this is basically the vibration effects is what it says, like combat dynamics and stuff like that. So like if you've played the game so far, you know that there's like blood splatter that pops up on a screen, things like that. That's pretty much kind of things that show up like in The Witcher if you've played that game and are familiar with it. They're like kind of action effects. And then you have the ability to up and increase the smoothness of the visual effects from, like, you know, your motion blur and stuff like that, or like the line of distance here with the camera imaging effects. There's nothing stopping me from going high, but I'm just gonna leave it on recommended for now because I just want to leave it on recommended. I'm playing with a 980 Ti OC, so I don't really feel like anything in the game is gonna really challenge me, but I'm going to leave it there. Next, you have the ability to choose how you are going to be guided through the game. You can either choose to have no guide, you can have a standard default arrow, or you can put an effect, or you can put like a guiding fairy. Like the fairy one seemed really weird to me when I was using it inside the CBTs, so I'm not going to use that. And I like the arrow, but for some reason I just want to try the effect one. That puts like a little, like, it kind of looks like Aurora Borealis that's going to move you. So I'm going to choose that one for now, and it's going to ask you, and you can change that later on in the options settings. So let's take a look at that. And then here we are, we have the game graphics, the environment settings. So everything about your graphics that you need to know and stuff like this, whatever it is. I'm not sure why mine goes to medium recommended. I'm assuming that's just recommended settings. My computer, there's no reason that I need to play on medium recommended. I'm gonna go high. High is the low settings are recommended if your computer specifications they fall below the recommended requirements. My system is high. It's a powerful computer. I've got the build listed on my channel. I'm an X99 build with a 980 Ti Asus Strix graphics card OC inside this bad boy. CPU cool, GPU cool. There's no reason for me to choose the medium recommended setting. So I'm just going to go high, and hopefully everything works out there. And as you can see, we're going to start out our journey here in Olvia, which is in northern Sarindia.
Naru is the central city of trading. Back when ships from Valencia would anchor in Naru, children would greet the merchants and fireworks would light the skies. Naru was a thriving city of sailors and merchants, and crowded areas were guarded by mercenaries. Little did they know what had arrived. Could any of these people know of the Elysian Stone? It is the mythical stone of the ancient civilization, but the dark power it possesses has been hidden by that very civilization. At last, the illusion was uncovered. A mysterious black smoke rose up over the ridge. It seemed to know exactly where it was headed. To Goma Naru. The illusion's tone reverberated. People started to disappear all across Goma Naru. In the end, there was no one left, and that day was soon forgotten.
So we have our little spirit, black spirit that we have here. That's what it's called in the game. And it's going to give us our beginning guide. And the spirit pretty much guides you through the main story quest. I can tell you right now that there were major graphical improvements from the CBTs to now. We were experiencing a lot of problems inside the CBTs with, you know, the resolution staying at what it was supposed to be compared to what it is now. Like even for instance, if you look at my hair on my head, you can see there's actual definition for the hair on my head, which wasn't quite there before, even though I chose that. So it actually almost looks like I have a hairline instead of just a bald character. This is my character. So let's see what happens now. Alright guys, so I don't know what happened there. I apologize about that, but alright, so basically our black spirit is giving us he's basically giving us cues so that way we know what to do, and we're gonna follow him for the moment. Humans always ask others to do bothersome chores. Okay, fine.
Turn the mouse on or off.
So before we move over here, let's take a look at some of the game options and stuff like that.
Then
The
click the red button
game
on
windows
the Receive
here,
Quest
I
info
guess,
menu
is the
to
best thing
activate
to take a look
navigation
at.
for that quest's destination. The destination will be highlighted by a huge pillar of light that you should be able to see from a distance.
Yeah, thanks, lady. So there's a couple of things underneath the settings that we can do. It's not allowing us to edit the UI just quite yet, but if we go inside settings, there's a number of things that we can do here. So you can see the texture quality. I'm not sure why the texture quality is so low. That's discomforting. And once again, the FPS right here, even though it's showing 23, I'm pretty positive that that's not what it's at. It's just for some odd reason that's what it defaults to when you're in full screen windowed mode. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be something that they need to fix, because it's annoying that it shows it, but I'm pretty positive that it's not actually doing it. So yeah, you can also change the camera effects and things like that as well. And I know on some of my older videos, some of you guys complained about the audio being louder than my voice, so I've lowered the overall game volume in game, and I'm hoping that I'll meet a nice balance for you guys here. Let's lower the overall volume down just a little bit more. to 70. I'll put everything at, so that way you guys aren't just like, what the fuck, bro, I can't hear you. I don't know why you guys really want to hear me in the first place. I mean, I don't sound that great in the first place. But we'll put them low, so that way you guys hear that and you don't have to worry about it in case there's something important that I do say. So so we've got those audios down. Adjust combat sound effects. I kind of want to hear my combat sound effects, but I'll put them down. Let's go to 7 bath. And then we can adjust the striking sound volumes. Then at 87, let's also put you down to 75. I don't need to hear other players. I'm not even sure why that's like an option, like why I want to hear other players. There we go. Next up, we have some of the game options. We can activate aiming assistance if you want to. We can display any of our online guild members. Simplify UI is something I definitely want on. I would prefer it stayed in this kind of look right here, without showing me my mini map. I mean, well, showing me my mini map, but not showing me the chat menu or anything like that. I don't want to see the chat bar. I don't even care what the fuck it's got to say in the chat bar. Use a custom quick slots. I don't want to use any of those at the moment. If you have some kind of configuration that you want, you could set those. We could automatically decline party and guild invites, which I'm pretty sure we are gonna get a bunch of, and I'm definitely gonna choose to hide the UI window when I'm attacked. Display the combo video guide if we want to, and we can use the mini map rotation so that way it rotates with us. Character names, we can display other names if we want to, but I'm gonna turn them off. I just want to see my party members' names, any of the guild members I'm currently with as well. I'm going to change my navigation to an effect instead of the arrow, just because I just want to kind of change it up. Safety danger zone, it gives me the warnings. Conquest Wars, highlight the guilds. Quest NPC status. Do I want that on? I don't know, I don't really care. Show enmity status, that'll basically pull up a thing and let you know what you're good with, but when you start talking to people, it'll let you know as well. Turn off system notifications, so it'll give you these as well, whether or not ability has been increased, general trade, combat, marketplace. All these things are like just little pop-ups that come in. Not particularly concerned with them, not really, to be honest. I don't want to view all pets. I barely want to view my pet, to be honest with you. So I'm not gonna hide them, but I'm going to view my pet only. But I barely want to view them. You're allowed to have up to 4 pets, so be aware of that if you're doing it. If you want to play with a gamepad, which I really do want to do, you can set those as well. Now, I don't have my gamepad on at the moment, so I have to alt-tab out of this goddamn window anyways in order to start it, and I'm going to do that so that way you guys can see it. I'm going to leave the gamepad sensitivities the way they are, because that's pretty much the way they were when I was in the game. And we're going to apply these settings here. So we've got all those settings applied. Let's confirm that. Take a look back inside these settings real quick again. And now here, if you had anything like that you specifically want to change, then you could do that as well, like for your inputs, for your hotkeys and things like that, you can change as well. Screen resolutions and stuff like that you want to change, feel free to do that. Again, that FPS 23 is just showing it, and I'm pretty positive that it's not something that you necessarily need to be worried about. And I've got the gamepad, so I want to show you guys what I use in order to do this. And now you can see my effect has changed. It's kind of like it's like a blaze going there. I'm going to alt-tab out of this, and I want you guys to see the desktop. I currently use DS4 Windows in order to use my controller. Now I use DS4 Windows because I do not use a Microsoft controller. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to activate full screen back. I like that they added that option in the last CB2. It was there. It wasn't there inside the old one. No, I'm going to cancel that. Oh my fucking god, what the hell did it just do? Alright, so there we go. So now I'm good to go for my game Let's make sure that... So now I'm using the controller instead of using the mouse. Although it doesn't stop me from using the mouse, it doesn't stop me from using the keyboard at all either. So the next thing I want to do with you guys real quick is I want to look inside here to see if I received my items yet. So now I'm playing during the Head Start program, and in here I still have yet to receive any of my items. You have to go to your account page in order to receive your items and activate them, and it's supposed to deliver them to you within 24 hours. So hopefully at some point I'm gonna get them. I don't fucking know, to be perfectly honest with you guys, whether or not I will receive them in 24 hours, or some people have, some people haven't. I would like to, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. So press the T key to move. I don't want to press the T key to move at all, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't need to. T is basically allows you to auto route to something. I'm not sure. You can auto run. So we're here, and we can press R in order to interact, which is really different. Or you just depress on your left thumbstick if you want to do that. So we've got a quest objective from this kid. Wow, you're staggering. Are you drunk? No, bro. I just woke up from a fucking weird ass nap with my homunculus from Wichita. So the weather has been good outside, so I can see many drunk old men sleeping outside. Yeah, but I'm not drunk, dick. Do I want to try this? Looks like, oh, his weird little flute he wants us to try. The flute of the boy's kindness. So let's take a look at our inventory. No, I don't see my inventory. They're idiots, man. Okay. He's literally asking me if I see that flute inside my inventory, and I'm like, no, I don't see it because it's not there. So I gotta use this HP potion in order to correct myself. So we got that. So now we've completed the quest with the boy, and we can turn in the quest back to him. How was the taste? Actually, I didn't drink it because it looked like it was bad. Okay, so you basically had me test it out. Okay, you don't know where you can get more potions, but I do. Let's see, we got XP, potions, and silver coins. Are you good with a flute? I guess you are.
Press the control key to turn the mouse on or off.
Yeah. Or just press the start button, depending on what you're using. But
Then click
yeah.
the red button on the received quest info menu to activate navigation for that quest's destination. The destination will be highlighted by a huge pillar of light that you should be able to see from a distance. If you click the yellow button, you'll auto-run to the destination.
So now,
You
can see there's...
between auto-run and self-navigation to move to the destination at your leisure.
You can see there's a bunch of people here that have information to share with you, and you can talk with. I would suggest, now that the game's out and I'm not worried about...
Your own destination for your navigation.
Shut up, chick. I gotta turn off the tutorial at some point, but I'll do that in a little bit. But so basically, there's a bunch of people to talk to in the area. Now that the game's actually released and I don't have to worry about information being wiped, I plan on going back inside here and actually going to talk to people and exploring towns before I leave. I'm not in a rush in order to get to any one specific level, so let's do that. Talk to Chief.
I got this necklace in Medea when I was young. Maybe this necklace is the cause of my granddaughter's nightmares. If you really need it, I'd be happy to give it to you.
That would be a great help.
I'm too old to care about this kind of thing anymore, you know. Here you are.
Oh, thank you so much. We'll do everything possible to find the source of your granddaughter's nightmares.
Please, seek out Princess Durette and her investigation team at the Ancient Stone Chamber. You're a new face. Are you from abroad? You've come to the right place. Our village has 3 excellent skill instructors. Jarette, the Princess of Hyrule, just visited. She's pretty annoying, actually.
Jarette of Hydale came to this town to meet him. Okay. So now, so you guys can see what we're actually getting here. We're going to be able to recover 3 energy. Energy is pretty much required to do almost everything inside the game. So any quest where you actually get to recover energy is going to be good. And we're also going to get contribution XP points. Here we're getting 10. Now, these contribution XP points are kind of important because it's how you unlock nodes, which is really important in the game because it kind of accelerates things like drop rates inside town, depending on what the node investment has. So you definitely want to make sure you're getting these contribution points.
Velia is a better place to learn about production than here.
So he wants us to go to Velia to learn about productions and things like that. And Velia is a major city. We're in Olvia, which is pretty small, but we're in Beleno. So you have the maps separated to these different areas.
You're a new face. Are you from abroad?
Alright. So he's given us a quest log, and he wants us to meet Edon. And that is this person right here.
Are you really an expert? You don't look like one to me.
I've investigated ruins across the continent. Ancient artifacts are my forte.
Everybody says they're an expert. Could you have done all that by yourself?
Not by myself. I'm with an ancient language expert and some quality excavators.
You stand before Princess Jarette. You must mind your... Please understand that it's hard to trust you given the magnitude of the task before us. Return where you came from.
All right, then. This gemstone was recovered from the Valencia ruins. It was verified to be authentic by the Imperial Court.
It couldn't be. A gem of balance? They say it concealed the dark power, but I never thought I'd see one in my life.
Could this be what Sir Jordan is looking for? Fine. You are in charge of the Stone Chamber investigation. A fortnight. That's how long you'll have for the investigation.
Good. You'll see me sooner than that. Destiny must have led you here.
Oh, goodness me. Aren't you quite the picky little princess?
Never stop seeking light, even in the deepest darkness.
As soon as we complete this request, we'll receive our rewards, contribution XPs, and so forth.
Experience will gradually reveal the way.
So now they want us to go visit a skill instructor. We're going to get combat skill points and XP in order to do that.
Remember, friend, I'm Eden.
And you notice there's another quest here for him to actually give us with the Stone Chamber investigation that we can jump in on. Probably smart to just pick up that quest as he's there right now.
Destiny must have led you here. Never stop seeking light, even in the deepest darkness.
So now he's given us a quest for us to learn our basic, which is Warrior's Kick. see it over here. It's pretty much a skill that he's given us. They're basic. It's like free of charge. You need this skill in order to play.
Press the control key to turn the mouse on or off. Then click the red button on the receiver.
Alright, so before we just start exploring and talking to people, we're going to get to that. Let's take a look up here, and I want to show you guys this so that way you see. Now, the first window is this little head, and as part of the story, it tells you stuff. So you have information about Olvia. We've actually attained knowledge at this point in the story. So we can see that it's located in western Balenos. Olvia is well known for its thriving livestock and agricultural industries. Carp farming and beekeeping were originally the main source of income for this village, but after trade began with Florin, herb farming and alchemy also became common trades. And you can get rid of these as you go. So like we've been introduced now at this point to Igor Bartali. He's the chief of Velia. He often offers free lodging and food to travelers, as he was one himself in his youth. He still fantasizes about adventure and sometimes talks about rumors and so forth. Igor's wife Ilsen is not happy about his tendency to daydream about the days of yore. And then you'll notice right here up in the top right is that this is node investment stuff right here. So you can see this node investment benefit here is basically going to increase the item drop rate. If you've played Black Desert inside the CBTs at this point, then you should be aware that there are node investment people inside the game that you pretty much need to talk to in order to you need them in order basically to talk to, you need to manage them in order to increase your drop rates or like your XP gains and so forth inside the game. So this, you can see already there's quite a bit of people in the game for us to talk to. It's advised that you just speak to everyone. If you just really are in a rush for some odd reason with the game, then you don't have to talk to anybody, and there's not even really a necessity for you to there's not really a necessity for you actually to complete the quest in the game. You really level up quickest by just grinding enemies in the vicinity. So if that's what you want to do, then that's probably going to be the easiest method in order for you to level up without having to worry about anything. But let's get over here to our skill instructor Burnt, so that way we can complete this quest. I want to kind of get you guys to do basically intro stuff before they start trying to give us actual quests to do.
Commander Croxus anyway? Did he get promoted to commander by breaking bottles? Isn't this just an excuse to drink more?
Leave Olvia to the vigilantes.
I'm wondering if these guys are going to be added as a race, playable race in the game. They were asked during the developer Q&A whether or not they were going to add more races and more characters that look akin to things. So right off the bat, for you guys who haven't played it yet, the classes in the game are gender locked. No two classes are the same, although there's similarities. For instance, you have a wizard and a witch, and they're considered the same class, but they play completely. Not completely, but they play differently. You also have the Valkyrie and the warrior. They both use a sword and shield or sword and board. For you guys have been playing RPGs for a while, but they play differently. So, you know, there was a question about those because people want to play a ranger, but they don't want to play a female ranger, and I completely understand that. But know that there's not necessarily going to be a male ranger added, but there probably will be a male archer of some sort that will be added later on, but they will be different. They will play out just differently. They also insinuated that they were going to add new playable races in the game as they expanded that probably came from pre-existing races inside the class. So someone like Burnt, who clearly is not human, doesn't quite look elven. I don't know what the fuck he is. He's some kind of deer creature or whatever. Like, you know, automatically in my head I'm thinking like a centaur, but he's not quite that. They could be coming out later on with that.
We all have a strong attachment to this town.
So let's play out this quest in order to
We
learn our
should be the
chopping kick
ones
from
to
him.
defend our own land.
We just gained 3 skill points. So chopping kick is a good skill for connecting, so like rolling over combos.
All of us vigilantes look up to Croxus.
And you can see here, we're getting our rewards, learn skills from Burnt. So he's going to give us a new skill called Heavy Strike, and we're going to learn that from him with some XP as
You
well.
must
Evolve here to
constantly
the
strive to learn new
vigilantes.
skills for more efficient combat.
So here we are inside the field, and you can see there goes Heavy Strike 1. We've got basic slash attack. We've got kick, and then we learn chopping kick. Burnt wants us to learn Heavy Strike, so we have this is basically the way the game works. Is you notice that there's 3 skill points allocated here that we've earned, and then we have 3 skill points that it costs in order to learn Heavy Strike. As you progress in the game, just be mindful that the resets on these skills aren't they're not just
We all
They're
have
not-
a strong attachment
they're
to
not
this
that
town.
easy to just reset skills, so you definitely want to plan out what you're going to do. So we'll take a look at the warrior here in a second.
We should be the ones to defend our own land. All of us vigilantes look up to Croxus.
So you can see now, right here, we've got a knowledge tree of what we've learned so far in Ovia. There's 1 of 11 interest knowledge here for us to learn. We've learned about Burnt, and that's it. So that means there's just plenty more for us to learn around the vicinity of Ovia. So you can figure out what it is that you want to learn, I guess. You can see he's got a dialogue running for us where we're at conversation 2 of 20, I think that is, or 2 of 30. And so let's take a look at the skill trees. So basically you see here that at the very top we've got basic slash, and that's going to increase. It also gives you a guide on what you need to do in order to activate those different things, and you can see basically as you go up inside, like the slash, it's gonna increase the damage of the attack that you're throwing, and so forth. That's there. Then we've got like Heavy Strike, for instance, which is available to us, and you notice that there's different tiers and paths that you can take with Heavy Strike. So for instance, right here at Heavy Strike, after Heavy Strike 2, we could learn Whirlwind Strike. If we continue along the path for a quick Heavy Strike, we could then learn the Charging Heavy Strike. All these branches basically depend on you for what you're gonna do. You know, we also have meditations and so forth, and you can go down the skill tree and you'll get different skills. Like we learn kick, and then we learn chopping kick. Later on, chopping kick 2 unlocks, and then chopping kick 3. And then we get the ultimate chopping kick when we're higher than level 40. You notice that we already have evasion designated to us, but at some point we're going to learn Soul of the Warrior, and then we learn Piercing Spear as well. These are basically skills of the warrior that you have. We have Shield Strike that we can actually do, and it shows you how to actually attack that. It's right trigger or your right mouse button. Your left strike is going to be your main attack strike. So like for instance, if I looked at it right here and I looked at the kick, you see that heavy kick, or the kick rather, and chopping kick. Chopping kick is basically down or back in F, while your other kick is just F. It just does a quick kick for you. And then your heavy strike, you have that. It's LMB and RMB, or like left mouse button and right mouse button together at the same time performs a heavy strike. And as you get them up, you've got to learn these combos and how to string together. It is not a handhold targeting system that's going on here. So it's kind of important for when you're playing a character that you learn these character classes. So I'm not going to bore you guys by going through all of these various skill trees as well, because that can get really boring. No, I didn't want to click on help. I don't know why I did that. I'm not going to bore you guys to death with that. So that's pretty much what you learn from him. So now we can exit out of there. And let's see, so now we're inside this menu right here. So you can see the options are coming up here. So now
Leave it in your house for good luck. You have to place
basically,
it where it can be seen, though.
what he wants us to do is basically draw our weapon.
To the bed.
That's it. You're just drawing your weapon like that. Tab pretty much does that for you. And it puts you in combat stance. And you can see, here we go. This is our main attack that we have, which is left trigger. And then we have a guard. Which is weird because it wants you to do this guard on this combat dummy, and you're not guarding anything, which is kind of strange. So even when I played it during the Witcher Call, it took a while for it to actually perform, which was just weird. So then we have F, which is our secondary attack, which is basically our kick. You can see that. And it's just a kick, but if you press back on it and you do the kick at the same time, you get the chopping kick. So you see the kick is a little bit different. That's your normal kick, but then you have your chopping kick. So you gotta kind of learn these things in order to go along with it and figure them out. Now, if you're playing with your controls with like a gamepad or whatever, which is what I prefer to do, you'll notice that you basically have on your control squares, my attack, like I'm using square in my gamepad, or I think that would be, what is that, X or something like that, I think you're gonna watch. And then your B button or your circle on it, what you call it, is your normal, and you have those. So it works out because you can see, like down on the bottom, you have the cooldown there for your kicks, right? And it works out for you to understand those kicks. Not particularly difficult to figure out. Yeah, not particularly difficult to figure out. So, yeah, meditation. All right, so let's go turn in our quest, and that pretty much is going to conclude like the intro to stuff.
Vigilantes. We all have a strong attachment to this town.
So you can see now we've learned our skills from him, and he's given us a skill point in order to learn more skills or whatever, but you're not going to be able to use anything there. So now our homunculus, or black spirit, I keep calling him homunculus because if you've watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood or the normal version, you guys kind of remember the dwarf in the jar is what he was originally called, the homunculus that, you know, Hohenheim created, or, you know, worked with. He didn't create it, but Hohenheim worked with and began the story, and that's what the black spirit kind of reminds me of. To be perfectly honest, throughout the whole game, it reminds me of the dwarf in the flask. So let's keep going with this. Just trust me. Call me anytime by pressing the, what is that, comma key, I guess it is. So he wants to train me, and he wants me basically to go hunt grass beetles. And you can see it says in progress, so now you can escape there.
You can confirm quest targets on the mini-map.
I'm going to take off that tutorial for the next video we play through, but I kind of want you guys to see it. Now you notice that we've got a full UI here, and I want to kind of point this stuff out to you guys so you see it. This is going to always pop up with a little highlight here. We've got new story information about Burnt, and you can see Burnt has grown under the favored tutelage of Croesus since he displayed talent from martial arts from a very young age. Croesus is the only one in town who can beat him in combat. So it's kind of interesting information, and I'm looking forward to learning this and the lore and knowledge of the world. If you kind of want to just play the game through and just get to the main combat, and that's not something you're looking at, I apologize, but that's not what I'm going to offer you guys, so keep that in mind. So I still haven't received any mail from my items that I'm supposed to be receiving, which is kind of got me a little irked. To be honest with you, I kind of want my freaking items, especially my suits and stuff like that. Anytime the Black Spirit actually comes up and has stuff for you that he wants you to have, this will kind of glow the black, and you'll be able to call him. Or you just press the button and it'll pop up. But typically, there's not a reason for him to come by unless there's like a lapse in combat or something like that. You know what I mean? So let's get ahead and keep it going, just so that way you can get through the Black Beetle quest. And if you notice in the area, there's still stuff to talk to people about. Like, you gotta kind of look for these guys. So now, one of the reasons why I really want my items that I'm supposed to get from this goddamn shop is because you have the ability to create 3 more characters, and if you purchase the Conqueror's package, it gives you 3 more slots. The total, I think, max is like 9, I think it is. So I kind of want my fucking characters, because I still need to create a couple more characters. I want to create Kalabak, and I want to create Artemis. So, but here we are. You can see the grass beetles are on the floor, and you can see the objectives listed above them. They tell you it's a quest objective, so it's not really hard. And this is something to pay attention to, that as you're going through and you're playing the quest or whatever, you can see that it's like, hey bro, like, you know, you're getting knowledge for defeating enemies. So I just killed a beetle and it gave me a knowledge of a C value. Yeah, they were too easy, bro. Where and who are we? We do not have enough information for now. So these little scrolls are skill experience that you're going to be building up, I guess, you know, towards those. And then you can see we've got a new target coming up. He's going to give us the choice between these right here. So you want to basically choose whatever it is that you need for your class. Like, for instance, there's a Mana 8 MP motion, but I had not found a reason to use that for this character. To be perfectly honest, I haven't seen any need for that. No, I didn't forget how to fight, fucker. So he's given us what we will about combat, and you can see the grass beetles. They're on the floor and they're no longer a combat objective. But keep in mind that this is your method for obtaining levels. Is grinding pretty much monsters. Like, you're not going, like, it's a weird thing. Grass beetle. You're not going to get levels pretty much by doing the quest. That's just not going to happen. As you're playing through the game, you're going to pick up a couple of things from these trash mobs. You're going to pick up either like items that you would just sell to the vendor, items you sell to the marketplace, or actual items that can be invested in nodes and stuff like that. So for instance, this right here is the item we just farmed. It's called the wild grass, and you can tell that there's a high and a low value set for it, which means that if you tried to sell it on the marketplace, you could sell it for a high or a low. So the marketplace on the game, the auction house as you will, is very controlled in the game. It's not like there's going to be people inside this game that are going to be able to flood the market with wild grass and then all of a sudden its value is going to drop and deteriorate. There's already a max and a minimum, max and low value for the items. So that's what they're going to always sell for. There are going to be items that are worth selling on the marketplace, and there's going to be items that aren't worth selling on the marketplace. It's going to be completely dependent on, you know, I guess, how you see that. So yeah. So there's nothing stopping you, as you can see from the game. I'm kind of moving along here, and I'm just trashing grass beetles, and I'm already kind of halfway through. On my experience bar here. For instance, I think for this area, there's nothing stopping you from kind of just grinding out 3 or so levels while you're here in order to do anything. I don't really think so, anyways. Like, pretty much nothing at all. Ooh, killing up grass beetles. And this is, you know, some people have a problem with this, with, you know, just grinding trash mobs. Is like, I'm not even just grinding the mobs, I'm just individually killing them. But I wanted to show you guys how easy it is to level. So if you notice, there was a down fist, that was basically energy that is consumed by me trying to harvest. So for instance, here we go, I'm gathering. If I want to gather the wild herbs, I can sit here and I can gather, and it's going to cost me energy in order to gather those items. So you can see strength went down, or the energy level went down. That is the way the game is. You're not really, the system's kind of set up so that way you don't really have to gather items and stuff like that. It's entirely up to you. You can see I just unlocked the title because I've just been sitting over here killing freaking things. It's kind of funny. I just want to show you guys how easy it is to just kind of level up in the game. Now, there's nothing stopping me from actually sitting here and corralling up a bunch of these trash mobs so that way I can just effectively kill them, you know, a lot quicker than this, meaning, you know, hit one or something like that. Now, obviously, it's going to be a lot easier when you get to levels and you actually start aggroing enemies as you fight them. Be aware that something to consider with the game is the looting system inside the game. There isn't quite a first in, first out, you know, thing that goes on with the characters, meaning like he tagged the character first, so therefore he's collecting all the experience for it. It also has a different experience system gain and looting system gain for even if you were just in a party together with people. You know, there's an experience curve that's there, so be aware of that. I think I'm going to end this here because I'm kind of running long on it. I'm not sure how I'm going to distro these videos. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna play. I don't think I'm gonna do a live stream of the gameplay, although I am considering it, but I don't really see a reason for that. So what I think I want to do is just do these as in like a day in a life. I'll probably just create day videos. I mean, if I play today, I'll do day one, and this video account is day one of my play. And as I progress in the game, it'll go and it'll go and it'll go, and any new information that comes up inside a video, for instance, any NPCs that you can talk to in order to get specific rewards from, meaning like inventory bag slots or combat experience points and things like that, I'll kind of break out of the video so that way you guys can see. Shouldn't be too much of an issue there. So we'll figure out exactly what's going to happen with that. But I hope you guys enjoy the series. I particularly see you playing this game for a while. For those of you that were following my Blade and Soul series, know I'm going to give an update on that, and so that way you guys know exactly where that video series stands. But to be perfectly honest with you, it's pretty much a dead game for me. I just did not enjoy it at all. Yeah, so I apologize about you guys that were looking forward to that. So I'm going to end the video right here, and we'll meet up the next time, and we'll get this warrior combo training going on. Alright guys, until next time, I've been the Dark Side. Remember, like, subscribe, or comment. I don't even care if it's a bad comment. Comment. And until then, have fun.